the lake. I watch as the water begins to pool in through the broken window, the jagged glass getting carried in with the flow. The van is already halfway submerged. We crashed in the fucking lake. How can that be? We were nowhere near it. The water is shockingly cold and rising up to my knees. TJ yelps something incomprehensible. I see Leo thrashing with his seatbelt, trying to get unbuckled as the car battery shorts out. The cabin lights go dark. Carl! The hyperventilating ram splashes about behind. I can't open my door! I can hear the sound of the door handles being yanked. I grab my own, press the unlock button, and push outward. But the pressure of water is too much. It doesn't bulge. I try to wrangle my rifle butts up to the. I try to wrangle my rifle up to the butt of the glass, but my seat got pushed too far up in the impact. I can barely move my chest being pushed up against the dashboard. Straining to wriggle free, I end up scraping my head against the roof.
Piece of shit!
God damn my stupid lanky ass. Carl, use your head!
I don't know what to do, dude!
The horns! Do the ram thing! Ram the windshield, you idiot! I realize what Saxon's trying to say.
Fucking species features. Go, Carl! Okay!
There's a shuffling, a movement, followed by a hard slam. Glass shatters and more water comes rushing in. There's a flurry of movement out of my window as first Jenna, then Carl, then TJ go through the window. Soon the water's up to my nostrils, and my blood goes cold. I remember my uncle telling me something after we watched a movie with a scene like this. Until the pressure is equalized, you can't open the doors. It doesn't stop me from wrenching on the handle regardless. I push my maw up to the roof and take a large breath before being fully submerged. The metal underbelly of the van scrapes against the rocks on the lake floor, which makes a downright horrifying sound underwater. With one hard push, my door finally opens and I begin to squeeze my way out. I look over my shoulder, seeing the faint outline of rust-colored fur in the back of the van. Leo seemingly trying to get Chase out. My lungs begin to burn and I realize I can't see the surface. I kick my legs, trying to push myself off the slimy lake bed. The pressure on my eardrums are like drills pushing into my skull. The seconds pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finally, I breach the surface. After a moment, the water splashes and Chase and Leo emerge from the depths. Leo, I'm a fucking otter. I'm fine.
Guys!
Carl pants, the ram appearing to be clutching one paw onto TJ's shoulder to keep afloat. He can't really swim, well, thanks to his hooves. TJ looks to be struggling to keep their chins both above the waterline.
Where's Dude Man?
What?
Daxton!
I don't know. Did anyone see where that thing went?
We need to get out of the water. It can be in here with us. I know it.
TJ's voice sounds like a mix of whisper and shout.
Please.
His voice cracks like a 12-year-old's as he shudders from a mixture of cold water and shock. I look around the mass of bobbing heads that surround me. Neither Dexton or whatever attacked us is anywhere in sight. In fact, land is like 100 yards away.
How in the fuck? Daxton! Dax!
Carl, you need to stop yelling. Jenna's tone is hushed but firm, the wet fennec looking like a soggy mop in the moonlight. I notice a glint of steel and realize she's still holding Duke's gun. I left mine on the lake floor. TJ's right. We need to get to the shore. There's a coldness in her voice, one controlled by fear. It takes her a moment to realize what she's saying, and a horrible contortion of worry and guilt crosses her soaked features. Chase, can you get him? I don't know. I don't know.
No way. You're in no condition.
TJ looks down, opening his mouth to speak, but nothing but whimpers escape him.
Fucking hell. He's still probably all the way down in the van. We gotta get him.
He's a salamander, right? I know his kind can hold their breath for a little longer than we can.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck he'd daddle, though. Chase, you're the only fucker here who can hold your breath that long.
He can probably barely breathe as is, Flynn.
I can do it! I can do it!
Carl pushes himself off TJ.
I sink like a stone anyway.
Is he this fucking stupid? I swiftly doggy paddle my way over, grabbing the ram's arm and forcing it around my shoulder.
Yeah, you fucking will. And how's your stoned ass gonna get the both of you back up?
I think I can.
No way, man. Keep just upright for me, Flynn.
The wolf rolls his shoulders forward and dives underwater. I quickly paddle over with Carl, now clinging to my back. Chase takes hold of my outstretched hand, nervously peering into the depths below. He accepts my help. He accepts the help, but he seems fairly all right, keeping himself afloat. We float there in silence. I try to see what's going on beneath the waves, but the visibility is frankly ass soup. Theo's never really been a stellar swimmer. Fuck. Chase wasn't even that good either. Beyond not needing to come up for air for a long time. Better than me, at least. When the water gets cold, I start shutting down, I guess. My muscles already are starting to feel rubbery, and the urge for heat is strong. It's the worst in my feet, where the water's deepest, and the moonlight can't reach. Fortunately, Carl and Chase are warm. The two cling to me in silence. I can feel the ram's whiskered chin on the back of my neck, and Chase's shuddered breathing on my shoulder. For at any other time, this might actually be comforting. But right now, I just hate the waiting. I hate not being able to do anything but tread water. Definitely hate not knowing what's out there in the hills, or how the fuck we even got in the middle of the damn lake. Auntie always warned me that the world's more than what we perceive, that our ideas on how reality works are limited to what we have experienced prior. I ain't ever been stuck in a fucking road time loop, attacked by a pissed off electrical socket man, or launched into the middle of a lake before. So everything just kind of feels unreal. A full minute has passed now. Fuck. He should have surfaced by now.
This is Leo we're talking about. He wouldn't have come up for air if he saw that dude man was stuck down there. God, this is so stupid. Jenna, TJ, keep these two afloat. I'm going down.
The Finnick gives me a solemn-looking nod. She begins to swim over to me, when what seems like a geyser of water splashes up in front of us, followed by followed by strained gasps for air. Dexton's blue eyes are wide, his slick form quivering in the wolf's arms. With a quick shove, the salamander jolts free, and he begins to swim to shore with gasping panic. We all follow suit, though I end up quickly behind, trying to support Carl and Chase. Daxton's the first to the shore, then Jenna, TJ, Leo, and finally us. All my adrenaline is completely tapped out at this point, and I fall to my knees in the sand. My arms are like jello. Thanks, Flynn. Chase uncoils himself from me, his voice wheezy, and breaks out into a raspy cough. Leo quickly hurries over, taking Chase under his arm.
Easy, easy. We're safe now. The fuck we are?
I peer around. Even with my eyes having adjusted to the dark, I'm still having a hell of a time seeing beyond 20 yards or so. Jenna gives me a quick nod, holding up Duke's pistol, to show me she still has it. The Soak Finnick would look comical were it not for the dark direness of the situation. She must put so much conditioner in her fur to keep it that fluffy.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks, dude.
And you, dude man, thanks too. Carl proceeds to fall flat on his back, spread eagle in the sand, his hefty gut rising and falling.
Yeah. Well, everyone okay, at least?
He didn't deserve.
TJ mumbles something, the lynx sitting with his arms around his knees, staring out into the lake. He makes an effort to scramble back a few feet as the tide comes in. Jenna moves over beside him, hugging the lynx from the side. Shh. We just need to get to Leo's. Leo lives on the outskirts of town by the old railway tracks. It's fairly isolated from the rest of the town. Going there is not the worst idea, but if that fucking thing could catch us in the van going 50. Fuck, I saw how it moved, too. Like a strobe light was being turned off and on, and it got closer with every pulse.
That is still the plan.
Leo affirms this with a nod, the wolf standing upright and ready. He's trying to not show his exhaustion and fear. TJ's just looking at Chase now, and he's got a shimmer in his eyes. He's crying again.
Chase, didn't he? How long did he? Did he?
He's cut off before he can finish. Come on, TJ. We have to go. Chase looks over at him. His expression is harder to read. He's just weak.
What?
Everyone seems to be pretending we're not hearing the whimpering TJ, ushering him along. I rise up to my feet, nearly tripping over myself as I get used to the solid ground again. Jenna pulls TJ up with her, trying to move the lynx along.
We'll get you laid down here in a bit, Chase. I'll see what meds I've got in my cabinet.
Leah also follows suit, helping Chase up the shallow incline, through the loamy soil into a basin of dried grass. TJ peers back over his shoulder. He's still looking at Chase. That's when I notice a large rock with the sole pinyon tree hanging over it. There's a bullet hole in the side of the trunk, 22 caliber. I made those. I look around, and right where Carl's laying, I see it. His blank stare, the blue eyes, reminded me of a fish.
Is this where it happened?
Carl sits upright, still clearly trying to catch his breath. At first, he doesn't seem to understand, but then the realization hits him as he sees the tree.
Oh, shit.
Carl rises up to his hooves, gawking at the tree. He's still.
That thing I saw when I wrecked my car. The one that brought us here just now? It did it for a reason, you know? I mean, I used to think my house was haunted. That it comes with the territory of a big spooky mansion. It comes with the territory of big spooky mansions. But maybe it's us?
Carl extends his paws out to his surroundings. I assume he means the whole group. I sigh, feeling rather vulnerable out in the open without my repeater.
The hysteria. It's affecting the whole town. Everyone goes crazy in their own way. It's what my aunt always told me.
And I even got her in the end. Wonder if she's okay, or if they found some other poor schmuck to blame the end times on.
Then why are we all seeing this?
He gesticulates with a swirl of his hands to the trees and then to the lake itself before letting his arm fall limply to his side.
We're all here for a reason.
We meet each other's gaze. Carl suddenly lets out a small chuckle, rubbing the space between his horns.
Unless I'm just imagining you seeing this.
I let out a puff of air and rubbed my face.
You're dreaming about me, huh? Seems like it.
He shrugs.
Next time, cut out the horror games before going to bed, yeah? I haven't seen a single zombie. It's bullshit.
He looks towards the lake and sombers.
Just kidding. Yeah, I saw a zombie too.
You guys saw a zombie?
Oh no, no zombies. I hate zombies.
I can't take this right now. Oh, damn, it's not the only one with a gun. Looks like I've got to show you guys how it's done. I'm not immediately sure what to say. In the distance, the group looks to be trudging through the dried-up reeds and heading towards the train tracks down the pass. They're not waiting for us, which, yes, is understandable, noting Chase's condition. Carl's watching them too, though he doesn't seem overly angsty to rejoin them.
If Sid were, you know, a ghost or spirit or something, he wouldn't hurt us.
Carl looks a little surprised, shifting his attention back toward me.
What makes you so sure?
I can tell by the tone in Carl's voice that he doubts that. I remember Carl was really sensitive growing up, sheltered by his folks, something fierce. He'd cry and eat and cry and eat. Was basically a fat, spoiled TJ. It took me a while to figure him out, and for Sid, he didn't really have that much grace with the sensitive types.
He was cool. I know you two never got along, but he had things rough at home. He loved hanging out with the group and all. Hell, he thought TJ was cool. What? No way. Well, he never said as much, plain like. He just wanted to be him, I guess. To believe God was real and had a plan. To be good without having to try so hard. To have folks who gave a shit about him. Dude, those last 6 months.
I think back to Chase's words.
I know. He wasn't himself. Not really.
After a long pause, he shrugs.
If you say so, I believe it. I was different then too, I guess. I was just a child, and now I'm a man-child. Heh.
I wave off the thought. At least Carl seems calmer now, or at least is doing a good job at blocking out the terror. He's still got his tie on, though his shirt's completely soaked through and I can see his chest underneath when he faces the moonlight.
And if this wasn't real, anything you'd say to anything you'd want to say to not real me?
Without hesitation, Carl speaks.
Not a real big fan of fishing, dude.
I furrow my brow at him and sigh before beginning to trudge through the sand after the others. I can't even see them now. They must have picked up the pace.
Dude.
I stop. His voice is softer, apologetic.
But I like when you take me out. Even if it seems like I'm whining the whole time. There's no seems like about it. You do whine the whole time.
A brief, sad smile crosses his thick muzzle. You guys are still here? The salamander peers worriedly at us. Carl and I exchange glances, then nod. Good. That's good. I lost the group. I don't know where Leo's house is, and they kept walking faster and faster and faster, and then they just... Daxton toys with the zipper of the bottom of his hoodie. Must have gotten ahead of me.
It's okay. I think we're supposed to be here. Right, dude?
Carl looks at me. I cross my arms, unsure how confident I feel about this whole tapping into paranatural hunches.
I don't know. It's just a feeling. The thing
He's
could have
just
killed...
that-
I've
he's
got
just
a
got that
feeling
Deep
that the
inside of
night's
him.
gonna be a bad time. I hate that song.
Oh my goodness, I haven't heard that song in ages.
The thing could have killed us easy like, and didn't. Instead, we're here.
Dexton gives Carl and I a nervous look, clearly putting a wide berth between him and the lake. Okay. He seems jittery, which I suppose is valid.
I can't believe Leo actually rescued you.
I grunt, trying to rub what feels like lake gunk out of my eyes.
Why'd you even need saving? You're a natural water boy.
Dexton rubs the back of his neck, his eyes flicking up as he tries to clearly recall what the fuck happened to him. I was trying to save you. His tone is concerned, the salamander peering at me as if afraid I might crumble in front of him.
The hell you were? I got out of there on my own like 2 minutes before Leo dragged your slimy ass up from the depths.
I thought I saw you drift further down into the lake. You weren't moving. Anytime I tried to grab you, you'd just drift further off. Always with your back facing me. Eventually I couldn't see you anymore. It was too dark. He rubs his hands together over his biceps rapidly, trying to warm himself. He exhales, looking briefly at Carl, then back to me. I'm sorry. I don't really understand what happened. It's not like it's not a lot go there's not a lot going on right now I can really explain.
That makes 3 of us here.
So, where's here exactly?
Where our friend died. Well, where he drowned and later died in a hospital.
Carl's bluntness takes me off guard. There's no coldness in his tone, though. It's just the truth of it. That's terrifying. I'm sorry I asked. After a moment, he speaks again. And I'm sorry for your loss. I feel like this past week I've just been a dingleberry on you guys.
It's okay. It's cool you're here.
Everyone goes quiet. Dexton occasionally looks over his shoulder to see if there's any sign the group sent someone back for us, but no such luck. I'm starting to realize how exhausted I am. Coasting on adrenaline for an hour straight will really take the wind out of you. I lower myself first to a squat, then sit cross-legged on the sand. Despite all the water and vegetation, the air still feels kind of dry and smoky.
I wonder where that fire's coming from.
Dance. No response. I look over and Carl and Daxton are sitting together, watching the tide. They look as tired as I am.
What do you want to happen here?
Carl eventually speaks, his tone droll and somewhat monotone. I look towards the tree with all the bullet holes.
I just want to know what happened.
Dots.
Dots.
They're gone. I spy the ass prints of Carl and Dax in the sand next to me, but they're nowhere in sight. I quickly rise to my feet, hesitant to call out to them, noting what happened earlier. I move up to the top of the hill next to us, stepping through the dry grass. I look around. As I look around, I see no movement beyond the rolling tide of the waves, illuminated only by the slight moonlight.
Fuck.
My old plan of waiting here for something to happen seemed a lot better when I had others around. Now that I'm alone and unarmed, my gall is starting to fucking wane. They must have went to Leo's house. I mean, surely they'd fucking wake me first, right? Did I even pass out? More like I just blinked and then bam, gone. For a moment it feels like something's tugging the back of my shirt. I turn, expecting to see the bulbous face of Carl at my side, but there's no one there.
Hey, assholes. Are you there?
I let out a harsh whisper directed at the desert scrub around me. Nothing.
Dots.
Again, no response. I sigh, rubbing my palms to my face. There's no choice. Gotta get to Leo's. My gaze drifts back to the beach and the bullet hole and the bullet-ridden pinyon tree. I'm struck with a strange sense of solace, as if the spot would be somehow tranquil to me if circumstances were different. For now, I take stock of what's still in my soggy pockets. Keys, phone, dead as hell, probably fried, and an old granola bar wrapper. With a grunt, I MacGyver these into a weapon that can destroy the socket man.
I call it the BFG.
With a grunt, I make my way off the beach and towards the rail tracks. I follow the familiar route, passing the occasional abandoned freight car. It's been about 15 minutes, and so far, no sight or sound of the gang, or any other miscellaneous townfolk. I inadvertently find myself walking on top of the rails, bouncing like a kid again. It kind of keeps the edge off and softens the noise of my footsteps, though it ain't very time efficient. It feels like by now I should be able to see Leo's house, but so far nothing. It isn't until the track's dead end perpendicular to the highway that I realize I've been fucked with again. I stand at the edge of the pavement where the old bike lane has been overtaken by weeds, pavement crumbling into gravel. I had hoped that the spatially funky shenanigans would end once we exited the van, but god damn it, why would it? You're going the right way. The back of my skull tingles and I cup hands over the sides of my head. That wasn't my goddamn thought.
To Leo's?
I ask aloud, like the fucking loony I am. I wait. No response. I clench my fists to my side.
Fucking. Fuck this.
I take off on a run down the road, keeping the power lines on my right. I run mindlessly, knowing goddamn well the nature of the loop, but trying not to think about it. I'm not usually the sort to do my running in echo on account of a century's worth of broken glass that lines the sides of the roads. That and the fact that the sight of a 6'7" Gila sprinting tends to naturally raise alarm, even with folk who already know who I am. Somewhere between 30 minutes an hour pass before I see something ahead. I stop somewhere along the center line of the winding old highway, the cracked asphalt feeling like it's chipped away at my already blistered heels. I stare at the faded red building. My truck is parked in front of it for some reason.
Why the fuck am I here?
Right. Why do you come here? The voice in my head is clearer than before, like some harsh whisper coming from inside the back of my neck and sinking its way into my head. It almost feels like I thought the words myself.
Is that a fucking clue?
It's a mystery. Ooh.
Ooh.
My thought was rhetorical, and hearing it respond so aptly takes me off guard. I clutched my throbbing head in both hands. Gone full fucking schizo. When the weird shit's on the outside, it's one thing, but on the inside, I grimace, bracing myself against the gate in front of me. Gate? There's no gate in front of this place in real life. I take a closer look and see the entire place is fenced off like some kind of high security complex. A tarnished rebar gate is the only entrance point. My truck is just on the other side. It's only about up to my chest in terms of heights, though it's got security spikes about every foot along the top. A single key lock is all that keeps each side and the tailgate together. Doesn't look too sturdy. I eye the truck through the bars and then check to make sure still the keys in my pocket. Sure enough, I feel the familiar leather Sagaro keychain between my fingers.
Why would.
So if his truck is actually there, where did he last leave his truck?
Where did he leave his truck? That's a good question. Who was driving
This
it
could
before?
be this could literally be his house. From what we remember of of the hysteria and how it just makes you hallucinate.
Oh, that's true.
We could try the keys on the gate lock.
Let's do that, because break the lock. Why would you break the lock?
And plus, I mean, unless he breaks the keys off in the lock, it probably isn't a problem.
Yeah, I'd
Plus, if
say
he
try
tries to
the.
break the lock, he might just jam it.
Yeah, but I say try
If the
your
keys
keys
don't work,
on.
he can. Yeah, if the keys don't work, he can just break the lock anyway.
Yeah.
Without even thinking, I take out my keys, flipping through the ones for City Hall. I grab the sides of the lock and push in the key, twisting. To my surprise, I keep turning my wrist without resistance, and hear a soft click as the fastening point comes unlatched. I stare at the lock, feeling some sense of accomplishment. It soon falters as I note that the lock being there in the first place doesn't make a lick of sense.
What in the fucking fuck?
Also, the tips of my fingers that were grabbing to the lock appear to have been stained black, paint of some kind. Someone must have painted the lock recently, though this through the surface through the fence though the fence itself looks pretty faded. I wipe my hands off on the back of my pants and push open the gate. It only opens about 6 feet wide, nowhere near enough room to get my truck through. If I revved hard and gunned it, I could probably break through, though I've got a feeling it's not what I'm supposed to do. There's not really a fence in front of this place. This isn't fucking real, but I'm seeing it. So why am I seeing it? That's the fucking question, right? Duke's words from earlier come to mind. The things we've all got something after us. Something bad. Won't let you leave when it starts. What's after you? As if knowing would fucking help me right now. If not just be even more fucking confused in the long run. I half expect the voice from earlier to speak again, but it's silent. Just a dull throb in the back of my head. The smart thing to do, the logical thing, as Dax would put it, would be to sit down under a nice tree and just ride this out like a bad trip. Maybe get some sleep. I could fix it. Like turning a computer off and on again. Peer up at the sky. The red lights from the building make it seem as though the sky itself was blood red, expanding to various pinkish hues to the horizon. Like fucking hell, I could get a wink during this shit. Pounding in the back of my skull just keeps thudding away, a constant beat that reverberates through my head like a cavern. I step up to the door with the engraved bit of signage next to it. Yeah, for the seed? Eh, of course, that ain't what it usually says. The cheeky ass, winky, smiley face is still there, though. Let out a short sigh.
You fucking idiot.
I turn the handle and pull, but it doesn't budge. I push next, and still nothing. The handle shouldn't turn if it's locked. I'd know. I've been here before when it was. I push once more, and I'm surprised that it gives, the door opening. I only leave it open a crack, still a bit wary about whatever weirdness lies within. The first thing I notice is the burning smell. It's stronger than it is outside. It's hot as hell, too. This place had a kitchen, I'd swear something was being overcooked in it.